Can you describe your own experience on October 7th?
The 7th October got me in the Nova party. 6:28, 6:29, it all started, thousands of rockets, and from there, the terrorists didn't care who you are, if you are a Jew, Muslim, Christian, or a Druze. They didn't care at all. All they wanted to do is to kill as many as they can, kidnap as many as they can, and make a lot of destruction. And from there, 15 hours of fighting and rescuing.
There are some kind of wish to suicide, okay? To put embargo against Israel from Europe is to suicide Europe, okay? Because you are going to face the same problems. You are going to suffer from the terror very soon, sooner than you think. But Europe is not in a good situation. What we are doing in the Middle East, we protect Europe.
Welcome to Riks and welcome Dr. Moshe Shima and Remo Salman.
Thank you.
Well, the conflict between Israel and Gaza, as we all can agree on, has sparked intense international debates, but we will get back to that. Just to start off, what brings you to Sweden?
Well, in Israel, there is an organization. It's called the Tzahal Disabled Veterans Organization. And the responsibility of this organization is to take care for all the wounded veterans of Israel since the independence war, 1948, until today. Unfortunately, until October the 7th, we had 50,000 members. Now, because of this war, we have more than 60,000 members. So our job is to take care of them and to give them the best rehabilitation that we can give. So we have centers in Israel. It's a very unique concept, I will say, okay? We have centers in Israel, in Beersheba, Haifa, Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, which they can come. It's for the entire life, okay? Not just a limited period of time, for the entire life. And they will get everything they need. Physiotherapy, hydrotherapy, workshop, whatever, fun, sport, whatever they need. Because of this war, Iron Sword War, that started in Gaza and then expand to Iran, Hezbollah, Lebanon, and so on and so on, we need to build a new one, the fifth center in Ashdod, which we are going to open, hopefully, in 5 months from now, because we need to absorb all the new veterans, the wounded soldiers that came from the war, mainly from the war in Gaza. But the numbers are so high that we had to build a new center. So this is the organization itself. Part of the rehabilitation is to give them some kind of a free mind, you know, to come to Sweden, a very peaceful place, you know, to go to tour, to do a museum, good food, you know, to walk in the street of Stockholm. So we have many delegations like that, not just in Sweden. We send them all over the world. Last year we sent 32 separate delegations all over the world. And for them is to go out of the, of the vibe of the war, okay? To have some kind of a peaceful mind inside. So this is the main reason why we came to Sweden.
Yeah, it's also important to say that the most of the group is Bedouin, Muslims from Israel. And we are here also to tell our story, what happened on 7 October.
Can you describe your own experience on October 7th when the attack took place?
I'm a policeman in the police Israel force as investigator. I'm 38 years old, married with 3 kids. And the 7 October got me in the Nova party. I arrived to the Nova party 6:22. You know, in the police, you can get extra money if you go guard a football game or a festival like the Nova. I never did it because as an investigator, I know when I start. I don't know when I finish my shift. So I wanted to have more quality time with my family. And on the 6th of October, a colleague of mine told me about the Nova party. She convinced me, and in the end, I agree. And on the 7th October, 6:22, I arrived to the Nova party. A few minutes before it all started, 6:28, 6:29, it all started, thousands of rockets, and from there, 15 hours of fighting and rescuing.
Because according to many Israelis, the October 7th changed everything. And my question to you is, did it change your personal perspective on Palestinians and the war? If so, how?
I will start. You know, it's a very personal attitude. It's different what you think about it. I can tell you what I think about it. Because of the October the 7th, what's happened over there, I think it's my personal opinion, okay? It will be very difficult now to have some kind of a peace with the Palestinians, okay? Because the Israeli population, we thought that there could be some kind of a chance to have a peace with them. But after October the 7th, after we saw what they did to children, to women, to old people, doesn't matter, to everybody in the kibbutzim near the border, okay, to the soldiers and so on, I don't think that there will be some kind, or they will be able to have a real peace with the Palestinians, not in our generation, okay? But this is my personal opinion. If you will ask somebody else, maybe say another answer. I just can tell you that Israel trying to have some kind of a peace with the Palestinians for the last 100 years. We didn't succeed yet, okay? So this is the situation. There is another aspect regarding the October 7th, okay? Not just from the Palestinian point of view, from the Israeli inside point of view, because he told you he fought in October 7th in the Nova, okay? He fought against the terrorists. So I was a civilian, I'm a civilian, okay? I saw it in the TV. I must admit, I was very surprised to see something like that happen to Israel, because Israel is a very strong country, much more than even you can think. So how come something like that happened? Okay? Of course, there is reasons why it's happened and so on and so on and so on. But it was a surprise for us. And it doesn't matter. No, it's matter. There is a difference about October the 7th, what's happened in the first 3 days, and what is the situation now, as for today. As for today, I think in a personal level, that we are in a much, much better situation than we were in October the 6th even. Israel, because of this war, Israel became much more stronger. Now it's kind of a dissonance, if you will ask me, how come? We lost 2,000 soldiers and civilians. Okay, it's a huge number for Israel. It's a huge number. But still, from a geopolitical point of view, or if you analyze it as a nation, not as an individual, it's a big success at the end of the war, because we had a war against 7 fronts. It's not just the Hamas. Hamas was the easiest way, okay, or the easiest part. But we have a war against Iran too. They launched missiles against Israel. Hezbollah started to launch missiles against Israel. So the Hamas and Iran and Yemen and Lebanon, they immediately started to attack Israel, all of them together. And we won.
The IDF does not always see eye to eye with the government, with Netanyahu. The military opposed the idea to fully occupy Gaza, for example. Is there a difference between how the government wanted the war to go and how IDF viewed the situation?
This is a political question, so I will be very, very careful. Now, because he belonged to the security forces, he cannot answer for you. Again, it's my personal level. Israel is a democracy, like in Sweden. We don't have a king, but it's a democracy in Israel. And in democracy, you have systems. In Israel, the government decides, and the army will do what the government order them to do. But because we are democracy, of course, they have their own opinion, and they will come to the prime minister to come and say, we, as a professional, we are the fighters, we think that's A, B, C. So there's, of course, the change of opinions. But at the end of the story, the army will do whatever the government will tell them to do. It's not a dictator that's the army control. No. In Israel, the army doesn't control. It's the government who control. So
you ask about how it saw the Palestine. After the 7th October, you know, in the Nova party on the 7th October, the terrorists didn't care who you are, if you are a Jew, Muslim, Christian, or a Druze. They didn't care at all. All they wanted to do is to kill as many as they can, kidnap as many as they can, and make a lot of destruction. For example, a Bedouin woman, she was wearing a hijab, she was pregnant, they didn't care, they shot her multiple times. Another one, a teenage, next to the Nova party on the road 233, you can see on the camp of the terrorist, he's telling them he is Arabic, Muslim, from Jerusalem. They didn't care, they shoot him in the head. They don't present not the Islam, not the Quran, because in the Quran it's written, you are not allowed to kill. Very simple.
We also see that many international observers have, they claim that Israel's response to the war has been too far. What do you think the world misunderstands about Israel's position in this conflict?
Okay, I will give you, I will use my PhDs and tell you what. Listen, in Israel, we have 10 million people, like in Sweden. Okay, it's the same. The number of the population is the same. 8 million Jews, 2 million Muslims, and a minority of Christian and Druze, okay? We are surrounded by 528 million Muslims, okay? Now, not all of them are bad Muslims, okay? Now, very good, I have many Muslim friends. But the states themselves, okay, the Arab countries, they are not for Israel, okay? It's very easy to understand it. So we need to fight. So in every 5 years, there is some kind of a conflict because they don't want us to be in this, in the Middle East. This is very simple to understand it. But again, it's the same in the world. Now, Europe is suffering from something that I cannot understand, I must admit, okay? As the Prime Minister, I think it was the former Prime Minister of UK, but I can't remember it correctly. There are some kind of wish to suicide, okay? To put embargo against Israel from Europe is to suicide Europe, okay? Because you are going to face the same problems. You are going to suffer from the terror very soon, sooner than you think. Sooner than you think. Now, because the entire world is just 15 million Jewish, that's it, this is the entire world. We cannot compete with numbers. So we can just compete with quality, okay? Europe, I wish to use a very politically correct word, okay? But Europe is not in a good situation, okay? When you analyze the trend of Europe from a demographic point of view, for example, you are in a big serious problem, okay? So I'm sure that this element influence the European government. And I'm using a very delicate words because it's in the TV. I don't want to say something more, more dramatically. But if it wasn't in the television, I could give you some kind of a linear line to show you what will happen to Europe very soon. Very soon, 30, 40 years from now, from a demographic point of view. That's it.
But in the middle of all of this, Israel is facing growing criticism from UN, EU, and human rights organizations. How do you personally deal with this level of scrutiny?
You know what, on 7th October, it's not only the attack of Hamas. The first wave was the Nukhba of Hamas. The second wave was civilians. Third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave, sixth wave were civilians. It came inside and also to make terrible things.
From Gaza, they came inside, yeah, civilians from Gaza, okay?
But how do you deal with this criticism?
The situation, okay. Israel needs to have much more, I would say, efficient PR skills. Okay, not just in Europe, United States, and so on and so on. I admit that we are not doing a good job in this dimension, okay, from the PR point of view. Why? Because we are fighting for our life. We don't have time to be all the time in the TV or to speak all the time, to send you messages in the web and so on. We fight for our life. So, okay, this is the fact. I don't think that the world understands the reality itself, if you know what I mean. There is a lot of propaganda against Israel. Just very simple and fake propaganda. We need, you know what? It's another kind of a battle. And we need to know how to take care in this battlefield too. We are very good in the army battlefield. We are less good in the PR and media battlefield. But if we should speak just with facts, not perception, the facts. What are the facts? Israel has the best moral army in the world.
We've also seen soldiers interviewed by The Guardian. They described the civilians being sent into tunnels to collect GPS data. I mean, this is a serious accusation and one of many crimes. How do you respond to that?
The army sends civilians to the tunnels to collect what?
GPS from data.
First of all, it's forbidden by the Israeli law, okay? So it's very hard for me to understand something like that. Second, we need to analyze when you say civilians. Are they civilians or the Hamas? Okay? You need to analyze it in a very careful way. Now, this is propaganda. That's what I'm saying. It's just a cheap propaganda, okay? Nobody from the Israeli side will send a child in front of the soldiers. The Hamas are doing that all the time. As a concept, as a method, the Hamas will take children to put them in the front. Why? Because they know that the Israeli soldiers and officers are not going to shoot the children. Yeah. But the Hamas will shoot children. Yeah.
The UN also accused Israel of targeting water infrastructure to displace Palestinians. Do you have any response to those testimonies?
The what? I cannot...
The UN accused also Israel of targeting water infrastructure to displace Palestinians. What's your response to those testimonies?
Well, I'm not familiar with all the details. The answer is no, okay? Definitely. Mandatory, no. There is no something like that. First of all, we are a democracy. Second, there is the humanity side, which in Israel is very, very sensitive. We don't need the UN or any other country to tell us how to be human. We are much more human than any other because we were in the Holocaust, okay? The entire Jewish nation, we were in Auschwitz. So we know what is humanitarian. Third, I don't think that it's true because, you know, we are very highly supervised. They check every Israel in every corner, okay? There are a camera all over, whatever. So everybody looks at us. But we are not, we give the food and the water not because everybody is looking at us, because that's what we need to do, because from the humanitarian point of view, nobody suffers from lack of food in Gaza. You can see the trucks over here was in Gaza, okay? He can tell you.
But we have...
There are hundreds of trucks every day get inside Gaza. It's important to say that. In my sector, where I serve in the police station, Segev Shalom, we see what's going on. We see the trucks, hundreds of trucks that go every day inside Gaza with food, water, with everything they need.
Yeah, we also have UN reports that say that 90% of Gaza's water and sanitation systems are totally destroyed. How does the IDF justify that if...
Well, it's a lie. So what I can do, it's not true, okay? It's a lie. I will tell you something else, okay? To put it in a wide spectrum. Israel is totally dependent on the United States. It's not a secret, okay? Of course, we share interest. The United States has interest in Israel, in the Middle East, but in Israel, because Israel is in the middle of 3 continents. If you look at the map, Israel is in the middle of 3 continents, Europe, Asia, and Africa. So United States has interest in Israel, but United States control Israel. I've said control in a very positive way, okay, not in a very bad. And of course, we get, I won't say we get orders from United States, but there are a lot of negotiations and a lot of, as the President Trump used to say, deals with the United States. I don't think that United States or even ourselves will allow ourselves to take water from the citizens of Gaza. We give them the water. They get the water from Israel. They get the electricity from Israel. They get food from Israel. Okay? Just for people to know that.
What does a total victory against Hamas and other terror organizations or groups look like, given the current humanitarian situation in Gaza?
I don't understand the question.
What does a total victory against Hamas and other terror groups look like?
The victory, how it looks like, or what?
Yeah, well, what does a total victory look like to you against Hamas?
Listen, I don't want to use these words. I know that our Prime Minister used this, a total victory. There is no total victory in the Middle East, okay? It's until the next war. But if you analyze it in a very clear mind, okay, I will say something like that. After we shall get our hostages back, then from Israel's side, it's a very good situation. But you need to remember all the time, we lost more than 2,000 people, half of them soldiers, half of them civilians. For Israel, it's a very heavy price, okay? More than 2,000. I don't want to speak about the wounded soldiers, okay? He considered to be a wounded veteran, Remo. So we have more than 20,000 wounded veterans. It's huge numbers. But from a geopolitical point of view, if we analyze the entire map, I will say something like that. This is Israel, here, this point, Iran, Yemen, and all the entire region. We destroyed the nuclear of Iran, the entire nuclear reactors of Iran, with the help of President Trump, which, if I could, I would hug him and kiss him, okay? But he did a great job, okay? So we destroyed all the nuclear of Iran, which was a threat not just against Israel. It was a threat against Israel, against the other Muslim, the Sunni Muslim countries around in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and so on and so on. We destroyed the Hezbollah in the north. They were a very serious threat against Israel. We won against them too. So if you will analyze all these spectrums, all these dimensions, this is a very good victory, okay, if I may say so. Still, we wish to have peace. We don't want war. I don't think that the peace is behind the door, not with the Hamas. I do think that now, after everybody saw what are the abilities of Israel, after she was attacked by 7 fronts, 7 countries and terror organizations, and we won them all, I think that Saudi Arabia and all the modest, all the I would say, not the fundamentalist Islam, they will come and we will have peace with Israel. Because, you know, among countries, it's interest. That's it.
Right.
And it's in their interest to do so. In this point of view, I'm very optimistic. And I think that's what President Trump is doing now is perfect, is the best. Okay? He's doing it in a very wise way. We have a coalition, you know, to put one by one. Just a week ago, a new Muslim country signed the Abraham Agreement. Okay? So this is a trend which is a good trend.
If we get back to their integrated Muslims serving the IDF, fighting against other Muslims, how is that viewed from a Muslim perspective?
As a policeman,
Yeah.
I'm Israeli. I protect everyone in Israel from the threat that they are coming from outside. And that's what we did on the 7th October. It's not only me, it's all of us. It was a mix of Jew, Muslims, Christian, those, everyone together, work as one unit, one team, one group, one family against the terror.
Because some people say that Israel is against Islam. How is
In
your
Israel, we have 2.5 million Muslims.
He is Muslim.
We're working together, eating together.
We fight together.
In my family, my tribe, we have 10 Jew women's. So it's a mix.
What would you like to say to Sweden in this question?
I will continue what he started. Listen, in Israel, in our Supreme Court, we have a Muslim judge in our Supreme Court.
Yeah.
The CEO of the biggest bank in Israel is Muslim.
Exactly.
The CEO of the biggest hospital in the northern part of Israel is Muslim. Okay? We live together inside Israel.
Yeah.
Okay? He is Muslim, but Israel is his country, like it's mine. It's the same. It's his country like my country. It's the same. His son will be the Prime Minister of Israel, for sure.
Why do you think that many people miss this part that you just said?
For example, what happened with the Uber taxi driver.
Yeah, tell me what happened. Yeah. Just happened on our
2
way.
hours ago when we were on the way here, we get in a Uber taxi driver. We asked him from where he is. He told us from Pakistan. And in that time, we speak in Hebrew between us. And asked us, what is the language you speak? We told him Hebrew. He asked us, from where are we? We told him, we are from Israel. A few minutes later, my wife called me. I spoke with her in Arabic. And then he looked at me and told me, you speak Arabic now? I told him, yes. I'm a Muslim from Israel. He was in shock. And I asked him, what did you think different? He told me that he thought that in Israel there are living only Jew. I told him it's not true.
Why do you think people get shocked like this?
Because they get the wrong information from extreme...
Media channels. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, part of it's anti-Semitism, mainly in Europe. There is still anti-Semitism in Europe. 1%. Can see it in the street all the time. There is no explanation for that. But it's something in the perception of the people. And lack of information. They don't know the facts. So they are just, they're watching the media or they're watching the web or so also.
Exactly.
And they don't get the real facts and the truth. That's it. And we, as Israeli, we need to do much more how to influence the media and how to spread the facts and the truth itself. The numbers, not just what I think or what he think. It's not easy. It's not easy in our days because, the media, everything is media now, okay? And you have the social media, you cannot control it. But I think Israel should do much more in this specific dimension. What we are doing now is part of it, to give the people the truth, the facts.
And I also traveled last year all over the world, almost all over the world, and speak about 7 October. And people that meet me and know that I am a Muslim, half Bedouin, half Swiss, a Muslim, from Israel, most of them are in shock because they don't have the right information.
Yeah. Hannah, listen. Europe, as I told you, as a demographic trend, you are in a big problem. You know that, it's not a secret. You can analyze it immediately. But from Israeli point of view, regarding the October 7th, first of all, we didn't start this war. Okay? It was forced on us. And it took us, for him and his members, 3 days to go or to clean the area because they invaded Israel. You know that. They invaded Israel. Now people ask, how come such a strong country like Israel is very strong? We know that. Something like that happened to Israel. There is an answer what happened in October the 7th. I'm not going to analyze it here. It will take an hour. But it took them, because I'm too old to fight, okay? It took them 3 days just to clean the area from the terrorists, and then to go and start the war inside Gaza, and to run after the terrorists inside Gaza. That's what we did. But, as you can know, it took us 2 years with a heavy price.
Yeah, Hamas
But we won.
started the war, but can you understand the criticism that's against Israel and that has been against Israel? Is there...
I cannot understand this criticism. It's hypocrisy. From my point of view, it's hypocrisy. To hear a prime minister from Europe criticize Israel? How come? We are the only democrat country in the entire Middle East, and you criticize us? We were attacked. It's not a war that we started. And of course we shall fight to save our life. Okay? So this is why I told you a few minutes ago, it's not just a matter of policy or nation's policy. A lot of anti-Semitism, you know, from the old anti-Semitism is involved here in Europe. And so you in Europe need to clean yourself from inside and to look at the facts, okay? It's very easy to criticize Israel all the time, okay? Because you know that we are the only Jewish country in the world, the only one, okay? In the world.
What's your message to Sweden, if you have any?
We will start.
Okay, I want before that to go to the beginning. It's important to say that we, the police force, fight from the morning until afternoon. And luckily, our commander launched the code Parash Paleshet. The meaning of the code is there are terrorists inside Israel and you need to block all the main roads. That's also what had Israel, that the terrorists will not continue forward to Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. And also it's important to say there are not only Jews living in Israel, you have Muslims, you have Christians, you have Druze. It's a beautiful mix. Also in the party, it was a beautiful mix of Jew, Christian, Muslims, Druze from all over the world.
In the Nova party.
In the Nova party, yeah. And we saw something a little bit positive about that day. That everyone in Israel fight against that terror. Doesn't matter if you're a Jew or Muslim, Christian or Druze, everyone fight together as one unit, one team, one group, one family. And we push them back. Yeah, and as I say, we are strong, but together we are stronger.
And I will say something like that, in a very clear way, okay? First of all, what we are doing in the Middle East, we protect Europe. Just like that. We fight for ourselves, but we fight for Europe too. That's number one. Number two, 2 days, yesterday we went to the parliament, to the Swedish parliament. Amazing meeting with members of the parliament, the Swedish member of the parliament, okay? Amazing meeting. On our way, there was 2 very old women at the entrance of the parliament with a sign, Free Gaza. So I went to them. They were very old, so I was very polite. And I told one of them, do you know where is Gaza? And she said, no. So I told her, the entire group was with me. So I told her, so if you don't know where is Gaza, what is the sign that you are handling in the hand? She didn't know. Free Gaza, as a slogan. That's it. They don't know the fact. She didn't know where is Gaza even, okay? So I told her Gaza in the Middle East, you know, I tried to explain a little bit where is Gaza. Now, she was Swedish. She wasn't Muslim, she was a Swedish woman. Now, because she was very old, you know, I smiled to her and so on and so on, because she was an ignorant. She didn't know what she is doing. Somebody told her to take this and that's it. So for sure, there is some kind of ideology behind in her mind, but it's because she doesn't know the facts. So my if I wish to address something to the Swedish people, first of all, it's an amazing country, really. Beautiful country. The landscape here is one of the best. The people are one of the best. Come to Israel and see the reality in your own eyes.
Exactly.
Okay? Then judge, okay? Don't listen to the, all the media and so on and so on.
Are you shocked over how Europe has been reporting and criticizing Israel in this
Yeah,
question?
I was shocked. I was shocked.
I
thought to my wife, this doesn't make sense. How come they can criticize Israel? They should support us 100%. 100%. Because we protect Europe too. Okay? I'm not going to tell you what will happen if Israel won't fight against those terrorists. They will come to Europe. That's it.
Thank you so much, Moshe Shima and Remo Salman for coming. And
Thank you very much for hosting us.
Thank you. And thank you for watching Riks.